It's with a heavy heart that this local communist government member sees young people leave.
It's no secret that we've got big problems with transport and even guaranteeing food supplies.
The US embargo and sanctions are still in effect, and state coffers are depleted. Cubans are living through the toughest period in over 30 years. But the economic crisis hasn't undermined Joan's faith in communism.
The concept of revolution is still relevant today. We have to defend our ideals and our independence. I am sure the revolution is here to stay.
Cuba produces just 30% of the food its population needs. People are abandoning the countryside, and there's a pervasive sense of bitterness.
All my friends want to go to the United States. Nobody feels free here.
Miguel, a young communist from Artemisa, is handing out agricultural tools donated by Mexico to local producers. Boots, shears, products difficult to find on the local market.
Here we're short on everything, but it's because of the embargo.
We must fight on. We must make do with what we have.
There were 18 students in his high school class. Today, only 7 remain in the country.
I feel that I'm a revolutionary, but most young people today don't identify with this ideology.
Almost 250,000 Cubans left the island last year. Add to that the country's low birth rate. The guardians of the revolution are having a tough time convincing the masses.
Shifting tides in Cuba, one has to wonder now. It's not the first time that we've heard such instances or reports taking place in Cuba in regards to some level of soul searching. Just remember, last year and the year before, Cuba faced a lot of protest, and it was labeled as pro-democracy protest, where Cubans were actually venting their frustrations against the actions or the inactions of the current regime in place. Now, that seems to have settled for now, but at any moment, one has to wonder if that could actually rise again. Moving forward now to Jamaica, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said the government remains committed to its plans to rebuild townships across the country, with focus also on developing new urban centres in St. Catherine, St. Thomas and Portland. Holness said the administration recognizes that the infrastructure of several towns were built a long time ago without much consideration for long-term development of the country. So this report from Jamaica.
One by one, proud beneficiaries collected the document which symbolized their status as homeowners in this NHD housing development in Monimusk, Clarendon. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the presentations. Months ago, he announced that he would start taking credit publicly for these projects on behalf of his government, and so it came as no surprise that he did so on Friday.
You're here today because the government is working. Let's face it. I was in Westmoreland last month, twice, handing over houses. Housing developments like this. I was in Trelawney again last month, handing over houses like this. And I'm here in Clarendon, handing over not just one housing scheme, but 2.
There are close to 700 units in the Hummingbird Meadows and Monimusk Country Estate housing developments in Clarendon. For the Prime Minister, it won't stop here. He indicated he will continue to put pressure on the NHD to get more housing projects done.
So you can understand why I have given the NHD this directive to build more houses quickly and affordably. Because the demand for it is huge. We estimate that we have about 150,000 housing solutions in deficit. That's huge. Put that into context, the NHD has not built 150,000 houses since its inception. So if we're going to make a dent on this problem, you can see that we will have to accelerate very quickly the building of these houses.
Mr. Holness also admitted his administration is facing growing political pressure to address bad infrastructure such as roads. He said while some are being addressed, others are taking longer due to bureaucracy in government, which prevents the projects getting approved quickly. And for the Prime Minister, he has to explain these facts to the people.
I'm saying this because too often I have to confront Jamaicans who don't pay attention to the facts, who reason on pure emotion because of their traditional perspectives. And what that does is to create a political economy that is not conducive to your long-term benefit, because you create perverse incentives for politicians who come and tell you foolishness, and you believe it. I am not such. I come and tell you it plain. You vex, you vex. If you want to believe, you believe.
Let's go back to Cuba for a moment here. Let's take a look at another update. Despite chronic economic difficulties, Cuba has always excelled in the health sector, exporting thousands of doctors and developing particularly high-quality vaccines during the COVID-19 crisis. But this success story is out of the Cuban revolutionaries running out of steam. With a shortage of medicines and obsolete equipment, Cubans are facing unprecedented health insecurity. Again, this report from Cuba.
Near empty pharmacies in downtown Havana, a remarkable scene in a country that has for decades been known for high-quality healthcare. Like Edgar, thousands of Cubans struggle to find the medicine they need.
In the state pharmacy, a box like this costs about 40 pesos. But they're all out of stock, so I have to buy them on the black market for 250 or 300 pesos.
Edgar has diabetes and high blood pressure.
You can go to the doctor, he'll give you a prescription, but then you go to the pharmacy and there's nothing there.
Like many Cubans, Edgar dares not criticize the government on camera.
If you say how things really are here, you'll have problems with the police.
And yet for decades, Cuba has trained more than 500,000 doctors and nurses. During the pandemic, 30,000 medical professionals were deployed on missions throughout the world. Despite the economic crisis, Cuba continues to invest in people.
I don't have to pay for my studies, for accommodation, or for food. It's incredible. I don't need to pay a thing.
Kuslen arrived here 4 years ago, along with 10 other Mongolians. The Cuban government covers all the costs of their studies. The future doctor plans to return to Mongolia to work after she graduates.
The most amazing thing is that when we finish, we don't stay and work in Cuba. Cuba doesn't benefit from us. We'll all go back and practice medicine in our own countries.
In Cuba, according to official figures, nearly 1% of the population is a doctor. But with salaries that pay less than $30 a month, part of the health workforce have decided to switch jobs or immigrate. Last year, 240,000 Cubans, most of them young, left the country.
I actually have
The Latin American...
A flip side to that story, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. A flip side, because doctors are needed more than ever in Gaza, and Cuba is lending a hand. So the Caribbean nation is training more than 200 Palestinian medical students free of charge. Many are determined to practice medicine in Gaza once they graduate. Let's take a look at this.
The Latin American School of Medicine provides full medical scholarships to people from low-income communities in the Americas, Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. 74 of today's students are from Gaza. Samar has lost dozens of relatives this past month.
When I go to talk with my friends and laugh, I say, no, I can't. My family under attack. How can I live in peace and love and speak to people?
Hatem lost 40 relatives after an Israeli F-16 fighter jet bombed his family's apartment block.
We are constantly on edge. We can't stop looking at our phones. We are just waiting for more bad news.
Since it opened 2 decades ago, more than 30,000 doctors have graduated from the school. The idealism of this project is striking. Cuban life expectancy has fallen in recent years as there's no longer enough money to buy all the medicine the country needs. And yet the Ministry of Public Health continues to train doctors from 94 different countries here without charging a penny. Until recently, Samar was considering practicing medicine in Australia. Not anymore.
I'm just telling myself, Samar, you must study to be back to our family, our city, our land.
The World Health Organization documented dozens of attacks on healthcare facilities in Gaza in October. Every medical student from the territory interviewed for this report was determined. Once they graduate, they're returning home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break on the program.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers?
Please exercise more patience. You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best. I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in-depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WESN,
the content capital.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Every day, we communicate through stories. Stories of ourselves, our challenges, our goals, our experiences, and our aspirations. Storytelling is an art that we have mastered. WESN Film Studios comprises a collaborative team of experts with extensive industry experience locally, regionally, and internationally. The ability of your business to successfully communicate with your preferred audience depends on the strength of the stories you tell. Your vision should be communicated in a high-quality, professional, and creative way. From concept to post-production, advertising to film, multi-camera productions, live events, streaming, and virtual conferencing, we are WESN Film Studio. Let your own unique voice be heard and your vision realized. Call us today at 628-5835 for your next production.
Have a content capital Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Now I know we have no snow, but Christmas is still here. Ho ho, the Christmas shows each week for all to see. Movie classics wait for you and our local content for free. Have a content capital Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a content capital Christmas this year.
The issue, the continued rise in the price of flour and its impact on the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. How should we go about it? I want to ask you, what has been revealed to you about the state of vulnerability in the country because of this exercise and because of what we're going through? Is the government losing the war on the vaccine front?
The discussion should revolve around the common good for the greatest number of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
How do we inculcate a sense of respect and regard for people who may not be of your own political ilk or persuasion?
The communities are now being used by political opportunists. So
when the tables are turned, it's the same way. Okay, this has been 10 Questions. I'm Andy Johnson, and we'll see you next time.
Join me, Dr. Nalini Kokram, on What's Up Doc, where we discuss all your burning questions concerning health.
Trinidad and Tobago is among one of the highest risk group of patients that develop this form of genetic breast cancer.
What I'd like to take home from a short interview like this, screening. You must screen.
Because it's silent.
It's silent.
Yeah.
And because it's silent, you don't know it's there.
What's Up Doc, every Tuesday and Thursday on WESN, Content Capital.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity, from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378, or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
I am Rondell Donowa, attorney at law and host of Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Strictly Legal is a legal program geared towards informing you, the public, of your legal rights, responsibilities, and remedies. So be viewing Thursdays 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. So this is Wild Wednesday, of course, but we're not welcoming our wild guest as yet. In fact, we're welcoming the individual who established the Wildlife Center, Mr. Ricardo Mead, and he's with me in studio. Hello, good to see you again.
Good morning, good morning. Well, you said you're not welcoming the wild guest, so what am I? If wild was a person, as they say, right? Good morning to all our friends, followers, listeners out there. Wonderful to be here. A bit early.
Thank you. But with good reason.
Yes, indeed. We have to do some promotion. We're promoting something big. Really big is about happening. You know, I wish I could get the bigger voice, you know. With the sale, a big is about to go down. So the center next year, we're lining up a schedule for next year. It's packed already. Besides all the rescues and all the stuff we have to do, including a record-breaking animal that we just admitted. Hopefully she makes it and we can get probably a Christmas release or something, but we'll talk about that another time. But next year, in January, we plan to attend the Florida Wildlife Rehabilitators Symposium, of course in Florida. We usually go for a week and engage a lot of rehabilitation places. We deal with dolphins, we deal with turtles, we deal with snakes, we deal with birds of prey, all sort of stuff, amphibians. We deal with a lot of stuff on that trip besides the conference itself. But May, our really big trip is in May. In May, we plan to go to Belize. Belize, yes. Belize is a CARICOM country, although it's in Central America.
Yeah.
And while in Belize, we hope to get across to Guatemala as well as Mexico.
Oh, nice.
So they're Belizean neighbors. So we hope to get, so, you know, we'll be going through Panama. So on one trip, we'll be hitting Panama, Belize, Guatemala, Mexico, if everything goes great. But it's not a joy trip. We've decided to cut down costs because money is so scarce. We'll be doing a sort of backpacking trip. So nobody will have a suitcase. Everybody will have a true backpack. We will have a probably hammock, sleeping bag, couple changes of underwear. You know, we wash, dry, and wear.
Most important.
Okay, if not, you just got to go commando. Just let them know out there.
Just remember, you can wear underwear 4 times.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know that count without 4 times.
Back, front, inside out, back, front, in, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, we have rivers and streams where we can wash and cleanse ourselves. But no, where we will be going, we should have proper municipal water and flushing toilets. But the sleeping part, we will not be using luxury accommodations in order to cut down costs and have as many people go and have the effect. So we'll be going to Belize, but it's still going to be costing a bit of money. And to be able to get these youngsters out there for the experiences, Belize Raptor Center, where they deal with lots of birds of prey. We hope to be doing radiography exercises, x-raying the birds and learning about their wings and structure and how to repair them. And eventually when we come back by the end of the year for Christmas, if Santa Claus is good to us, we will get our own x-ray machine. So we'll be able to be a lot more competent in-house.
Wow.
We have big plans, but we're pushing them. We can get it done. We also plan to go to Wild Tracks. Wild Tracks deals with manatees and howlers. Their howler is the black howler. Our howler here in Trinidad is a red howler, the largest of all the howlers, but very similar in many ways. And to learn their program and how they deal with it and get the animals back into the wild, that's what we want to be good at, because the red howler is our monkey.
Yeah.
And manatees, we do have manatees in Trinidad. We have not had direct contact with one yet, but we have to be prepared.
Of course, yeah.
And I know what usually happens when we go away and learn something, we come back and we experience it. So for the first time, I took 7 volunteers to learn about marine mammal stranding, namely dolphins. And they had their first physical contact with dolphins in South Florida, learned how to do blood draws, understood how they do semen draws and all the examines, the examinations and stuff like that. And they were like, this is wonderful, but when are we going to meet a dolphin? We came back Wednesday. Saturday morning, we got a call for a dolphin in Orange Valley. And there were 5 of us there, and we were like looking at each other like, this is surreal.
Wow.
We trained for something, and boom, here it is. Not that we wanted the dolphin to be stranded, but at least we had now the skill and the capability. It's about building capacity. You know, we can't just stand there like, well, wow, we've never seen this before. We never thought. No, we have a great diversity of animals here in Trinidad, and we need to be prepared to deal with them all. Because then, who else does it? Right now, there isn't really too many options, so we have to build our capacity. And what I'm trying to do is now to share with these young people, and they will hopefully go on to different communities. You want to know what the big dream is?
What's that?
8 wildlife centers in Trinidad and Tobago.
Really?
8.
Why?
6 in Trinidad and 2 in Tobago. This only works as a conservation tool when you educate and engage people, especially the communities.
But why 8? Any particular
Why
reason?
8? Well, we've identified basically 6 areas in Trinidad that can accommodate wildlife centers, and 2 in Tobago. Basically, you go on the, the northern part and, more up towards Charlottesville, and then the lowlands area. Okay, so that way you would engage people in that community who would normally have a reverse effect. They're normally the hunters, the killers, the destroyers, the polluters. But you engage them now, and they see where ecotourism can improve their lives, the lives of their children, their community. And now the conversation changes. Now these people are the protectors. I read a story years ago about where they killed a man. And while they killed a man, a community killed a man. Yeah, vigilante style. What it was is that they realized he was a poacher. Right? So it was I think it was in Kenya, where they had elephants around, and they were engaging the animals to get them a lot more accustomed to people and keep them away from their crops and, use it in a positive, eco way where they can make money off of it. So people would come there to engage these amazing elephants. And they had, I believe, one of the biggest bull elephants around, one of the oldest guys. So he was a big guy. And this little scumbag, dirtbag of a human being, a member of that community, basically poached and brought in some other guys to kill the elephant. So the villagers woke up the next day to their prize main income earner, put them on the map animal dead. tusk, of course, sawed off.
They killed the entire elephant just for the tusker.
Right. And they discovered through a trial that it was this guy. And they descended on him with rocks and sticks in basically old biblical fashion. And they killed him. They killed him, you know. And while I don't endorse violence, who chose the violence first?
Yeah.
You know, you've basically put all these people on the breadline. You've hurt dozens of families' possibility of getting an education, going to school, and you just, for your selfish act, and you got to think about $20 US for that.
Really?
So we have to engage people and show them, you kill a goatee, okay, you get $200. You keep the goatee alive, you'll get $200 every week for the rest of the goatee's life. Conservation makes sense. Ecotourism is the biggest moneymaker in any form of tourism.
And ecotourism is something that we're trying to push here in TNT.
I don't think we understand the mold, because we keep calling ourselves Caribbean. Yes, we are Caribbean because of where we are located and our historical aspect. But geographical, ecological, biological, we are South American.
Yeah.
And we need to push that. So instead of bringing people from up the islands to help us with our tourism model, maybe we should look at getting somebody from Costa Rica, which is the world standard for ecotourism, to come here in Trinidad and say, all right, this is what you're doing, this is what we've done, this is how you can adapt it and make a big difference.
And you see it in all the Visit Costa Rica ads as well. Yeah, how heavily they promote ecotourism.
Yeah.
We're going to have to take a quick break on the program, but when we return, let's get into more about the event taking place.
Yes.
And then we'll welcome our wilder guests.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, guys, let's take a quick break.
Here is the WESN News on the Hour. I am Sierra Ali. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. Former Sandy Grande Regional Corporation Terry Rondon passes away. Ministry of Housing delivers home improvement grants to 100 citizens. The Ministry of Works and Transport advised of a temporary traffic disruption along Lupino Road. Regionally, Jamaica and other Caribbean nations faces 5% city loss to rising seas by 2100. Now for the details. Former Sandy Grande Regional Corporation Terry Rondon has passed away. According to reports, Rondon suffered from a heart attack and passed away on his way to the hospital. Minister of Works and Transport expressed condolences on the passing of his former colleague Terry Rondon during Senate.
Just permit me to extend condolences to one of our stalwarts in local government, Mr. Terry Rondon, who have passed on. On behalf of the government and myself and my family, I just want to extend condolences to the family of Mr. Terry Rondon, who would have done human service to this country at the local government level.
This story will be updated as more information comes to hand. Approximately 100 individuals are set to experience an early taste of Christmas joy as the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development gears up to distribute grants through the Home Improvement Grant Program. In a special ceremony scheduled for 11 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, November 29th, grant checks will be presented at the Pleasantville Community Center on Prince Albert Street in San Fernando. A statement from the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development highlights the program's objective to provide home improvement grants to eligible citizens. These grants aim to facilitate repairs and enhancements to individuals' residences, ultimately elevating their current living conditions. Focusing on low and lower middle income households, the Home Improvement Grants Program, administered by the Housing Ministry, allocates grants with a monetary value of $15,000 to qualified recipients. The Ministry of Works and Transport has advised a temporary traffic disruption along Lupino Road starting from tomorrow, Wednesday 29th. In an update, the ministry said there will be a temporary traffic disruption along Lupino Road from Dunderhill Road to Alexander Resort, Lupino, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. from November 29th to December 6th due to road rehabilitation weeks. The public is advised to proceed with caution and observe directional signs and barriers, to drive at a reduced speed and comply with instructions from officers. The public is also advised to be aware of heavy equipment entering and exiting the site. The ministry apologized for any inconvenience caused. Regionally, a recent study has raised alarm bells, cautioning that numerous Caribbean nations, including Jamaica, face the peril of losing at least 5% of their coastal cities to rising sea levels by the close of the century. Kingston, Jamaica, is specifically identified as one of the vulnerable cities in the disconcerting report. The findings, unveiled on Tuesday by Human Climate Horizons, a collaborative initiative between the United Nations Development Programme and the Climate Impact Lab, shed light on hyperlocal data. This data underscores a trend over the past 2 decades of coastal flooding, which has intensified due to the escalating threat of rising sea levels. Well, that's it. News on the hour on WESN. I am Sarah Ali. Thank you for watching.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity, from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378, or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we have an idea of what's on the list for next year for the foundation. And thing is, all of that costs a lot. That's no easy feat at all.
Yeah, it costs a lot. And we have to always remember that we engage a lot of young people, a lot of students who volunteer their time, but they're not employed. So this is the stage where you have to give them the opportunity. So they can't just, swipe their card or, your mom or dad's card and so on. So we have collectively decided to raise the funds to ensure that we take a proper delegation to represent Trinidad and Tobago, to learn, and to come back and build capacity here in Trinidad and Tobago, because what they learn there could be applicable here. So we go to the manatee place there, we come back and learn their manatees here in Trinidad. That one person that might have made that trip would be the person to be on site to go on a rescue to help save the manatee, which are very rare here in Trinidad. Most sightings of manatee really would be poop floating on the water or bubbles. We don't see them the way you see them in a lot of other places. Few people are fortunate to see them that way, but they are here and we need to preserve them because they are really amazing creatures. So, fundraising, we've been back on fundraising, and we're going to have the mother of all fundraisers. This is the year for the mother. Everything is the mother of. So we're going to have the mother of all fundraisers this year on the 10th of December, 2023, at Presal Secondary School. It's called A Wild Safari Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Right? So the Wild Safari, everybody has an idea what that's about.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be seeing what? Lots and lots and lots and lots. Did I mention lots of animals? Lots of animals. But not just the type you always expect to see. You're going to be fascinated because some things are small but fascinating. Some things are a little bigger. Some things are highly venomous. Some things are mildly venomous. Some things are slimy, slippery, crawly, scaly. Or some things have a few legs.
Some things are spiders.
Some things are spiders. We intend to have probably about 4 or 5 of the tarantula species of spiders on display.
That's good.
And then, our guest today is going to represent for herself and her species. It's going to be amazing. Some things that you have seen, but you have never seen them in the light which we're going to present them. And we're going to have tour guides to explain things to you and information. If you can read, a long time we used to read things before there was video.
Yeah.
So some people still do that, antiquated practice. So we'll have signs for them. They can read amazing things about these animals that exist right in your home, in your backyard. We don't have the time to present this crazy scale that we really want to, but the scale it's going to be, I'm sure it's probably going to be the most ecologically diverse presentation ever. So the volunteers are out there working their tails off to make sure that on the 10th of December for Wild Safari Christmas, so it's Christmas time, Wild Safari presenting the animals, and these are wild animals, and we're always going to focus on that. These are wild animals, but these are your neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time is it taking place on the 10th?
All right, so we're going to start at, I think, 10 o'clock in the morning and go right until 7. Because we know how trainees are. Not only that, because it's only one day. We're doing all this work. It's going to be an amazing presentation. It's going to start off, you're going to start off at the Bamboo Cathedral. We're working on building a Bamboo Cathedral for you. That's your entrance way. That's your photo up spot. This is your place where you can take a picture and say, I was there and I saw this and I saw that. So you're going to start at the Bamboo Cathedral and you're going to go through different areas of Trinidad. Madamas, Lalaha, Blanchisseuse, and encounter these animals in there as natural ways we could present them, but close up so you can see and appreciate what they are. Things you would have seen and you don't know what they are, now you're going to know. You're going to come away with a different appreciation for it. So we're going to go all day. We're going to have food. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have very sensible snacking food items. We're going to have plants on sale and green stuff. And I'm hoping to get ice cream. Everybody says, you're going to have ice cream? You're going to have ice cream? I didn't really want ice cream because of my stomach issues when it comes to lactates. Yes, right. And so to ensure a pleasant atmosphere for anybody, I stay away from the dairy. But people are calling for it. So whether it makes me gassy or not, there will be ice cream there for you folks. Really, some amazing ice cream. So we're going to have a wonderful time. It's going to be a Christmas presentation with a difference.
I'm looking forward to this.
And you want to hear the best part?
What's that?
Guess how much this is going to cost you? A contribution. Okay, it's just not an entry fee. So it's a contribution. $20.
Really?
$20.
This is a contribution. You're asking just $20.
$20. Because you know why? One, our focus is always education. So that's going to be always first. With fundraising, yes. $20. You come out there with your family. A carload, $100. Come on in. Everybody have a wonderful time. Eat popcorn, ice cream, bananas, watermelon. We have some lunches on that day, Christmas lunches and stuff like that there. No. I see already, you're getting it there. No wild meat.
Oh, God.
No wild meat. Wild Christmas doesn't mean wild meat Christmas. Scrunter, all of your people out there, bongo spear, right? No seasoning of meat. We ain't doing that this rounds, okay? It's about raising funds, having fun, and educating people. So we want the numbers to be high, so the margins, we can do lower margins. So we don't have to charge anybody $50, $60. We still want the children to come out. We want to engage, hopefully on that day, 4,000 to 5,000 people.
Excellent.
So that way it makes up.
Yeah.
That's how it is. We'll deal with the numbers. We'll work from morning till night. And we have to go a little late in that because it's the only day.
Yeah.
One day.
So December 10th, from
December
10 a.m. to 7 p.m., a contribution of $20 for
Wild Safari, Presal Secondary School, right there. You just come off the highway, right there. There's nice little parking around. It's an amazing school. Their space is amazing. The Orchid Society and the horticulture, everybody uses that space. It's just such a beautiful space. Whoever designed that space and that area, they did an amazing job. It's one of the most popular venues in the country.
And a contribution of only $20.
Only $20.
That's
How
incredible.
can you go wrong?
You can't.
But we don't want you to send your contribution. We want you to come out and experience it because you're going to take away something. And you're going to have a much better Christmas meeting this wildlife and saying, wow, you know what? As crazy as Trinidad is, people killing, people robbing people, all sort of thing, there is still beauty, there is still charm, there's still a reason to live here and fight for paradise.
Well, I certainly look forward to that. So next week, Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Presale.
Saturday after that.
Next week, Saturday on the 10th. Next week. Yeah, next week.
Next week?
Yeah, that's next week.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, shoot, I gotta call them fellas out of real work to do. Oh, yeah, this Saturday is the second.
Yeah.
Watch now. Folks, next week, Saturday, come on out. It's gonna be a wild Christmas. Come for $20, get a slice of paradise. Wild Safari Paradise
Wait,
presented.
Next week Saturday is the 9th. Is it the 9th or 10th?
It's a Sunday. Look, yeah.
Next week Sunday.
Excuse me.
Next week Sunday.
We've been working our proverbial behinds off, you know. Those donkeys are dragging now because we've been working them off. But we're getting this thing ready, and you're going to have a fantastic day on Sunday, the 10th of December.
We got it correct. So let's take a quick break here on the program, and then we'll welcome in our wilder guest this morning. It's not another arachnid, is it?
Well, his cousin.
We'll be right back.
Oh, his tasty cousin.
Let the home store turn your house into a home you love. Get everything you need to give your home that special look and feel. We offer household items, lawn and garden, paint center, hardware, plumbing, lighting and electrical, toys and storage solutions. 5 convenient locations: 6th Avenue Barataria, The Falls at Westmore, Pennywise Plaza Shoguanas, C3 Center Branch and C3 San Fernando. Check out our Facebook page for more information and come visit us today. The Home Store. Turn your house into a home you love.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Join me, Dr. Nalini Kokram, on What's Up Doc, where we discuss all your burning questions concerning health.
Trinidad and Tobago is among one of the highest risk group of patients that develop this form of genetic breast cancer.
What I'd like to take home from a short interview like this, screening. You must screen.
Because it's silent.
It's silent.
Yeah.
And because it's silent, you don't know it's there.
What's Up Doc, every Tuesday and Thursday on WESN, Content Capital.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers?
Please exercise more patience. You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best. I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WESN,
the Content Capital.
Every day, we communicate through stories. Stories of ourselves, our challenges, our goals, our experiences, and our aspirations. Storytelling is an art that we have mastered. WESN Film Studios comprises a collaborative team of experts with extensive industry experience locally, regionally, and internationally. The ability of your business to successfully communicate with your preferred audience depends on the strength of the stories you tell. Your vision should be communicated in a high-quality, professional, and creative way. From concept to post-production, advertising to film, multi-camera productions, live events, streaming, and virtual conferencing, we are WESN Film Studio. Let your own unique voice be heard and your vision realized. Call us today at 628-5835 for your next production.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Ricardo, Mead, and I are now joined by an amazing creature. Something very special about this creature, not only because I'm Cancer, if you believe in those horoscope things, and more than ever now, apparently, people are reading their horoscopes or getting more involved. Cancer's a crab, and that's exactly who we have in studio this morning. Ricardo, who is this?
This is the very popular Manikou crab.
Manikou crab.
Manikou crab.
Yes, so I love Trinbago. I'm a Trini to the heart, but what in the world is a Manikou crab?
Well, also known as a mountain crab. It'll be known as a mountain crab in other parts of the world.
There you go.
Because they're not usually found in coastal regions. You'll find them at higher elevations, cooler and forest, side of the road sort of thing there, as you drive up the north coast and so on. So it's a mountain crab, but Trinis call it a Manikou crab. And that came from the first peoples here in Trinidad called it Manikou, right? The term Manikou is what we use for possum. So people didn't even know that the name Manikou came from the first peoples. And it's a possum. And it's because it's a pouched animal. It's not a rat. Right? So a Manikou is not a rat, it's a marsupial. It has a pouch. In fact, next week we'll try to bring a Manikou on. Okay. One of the 3 species of Manicous we have here in Trinidad, we'll have it on next week.
3 species of
3 species.
I'm leading along.
The more we delve in, and I forget, what it is there. I have some archives inside there, and it's only when an animal comes up there, and I dig into the archives, I remember, oh my gosh, and the experience with this and that, and we had this. It's just amazing for me because I get a chance to share that information with you there and educate people about things that are around you and you didn't know. So this is a Manikou crab. It's really a mountain crab. In other places, a mountain crab. And this animal has adapted so amazingly well to his new life. And the new life is, crabs normally breathe underwater. These guys pretty much have lungs, so they don't have to be in water. They're happy on land and decide to road, a little water, a little wetness, and they're gone.
And they can still breathe underwater?
Not really. They can hold their breath for a bit, but they're not like the crabs that go into the sea and stuff like that there. So they are pretty much land-based. So they're happy digging their little holes on river banks. Yeah, right. But the amazing thing about it, why it's called a Manikou crab, when they say when crabs are running, and you've seen the shows with, I think it was Christmas Island with 1 million red crabs all heading to the water after they do their thing. And people say, well, the crab's going to wash their eggs. Well, the females of other crabs would have the little, the eggs on their swimmerets and on their abdomen, and they go into the water, and when it hits the salt water, there's a release. It's almost like dust, but those are actually the larvae. They're so tiny, they're called larvae, and they release into the aquatic environment in the ocean where they start their process of eating phytoplankton and the algae, and as they grow and they mature, they would start to move now out of the water, back onto land, into rivers and so on. That's a normal crab activity. This girl here is quite different. So she's ready for war. She's actually one of the bigger ones, so we have our weapons. These are our weapons.
Is that going to save me this morning?
Put it this way. An encounter with a crab, a Manikou crab, especially one of this size, brings you closer. You get religion right away when you encounter it in a bad way. Because I've seen almost everybody, when they put their hand and they catch a bite, the first thing they want is, oh God, right? So whether you believe or not, all of a sudden you catch religion when they bite, because they're quite powerful.
Look at this
and
size
they're quite
of that crab.
Sharp. So they can do some damage. So these are our weapons of choice this morning as we approach this deadly enemy.
So I'll tell you what, I can help you. You hold the pencil.
All right, you hold the cover, take the cover off, right?
Yeah.
Right, and this is to ensure that I go home. You know, I've already had enough injuries on my fingers and dealing with all different types of wildlife. So what do we do with this? Especially stance with her inside there, and she's getting bright. She's on, and I'm not grabbing that. If she grabs onto that, then I grab onto her, and then she comes out. This actually making it safe. It's like my bite stick. That's what they are, bite sticks or this, you know.
Have you ever actually gotten pinched by one of these
Oh,
crabs?
yeah. Remember, I grew up in Tobago. Blue crab,
Oh, yeah.
as big as my head, you know.
Yeah,
and I didn't believe that after it was broken off and the pot getting ready for season, it could still mess with me, you know.
Really?
So I did this, one really massive one, and I'm doing this, wait, look at the size of the... I had to bite it and break it off to get it off my hand because it just like muscle contraction, and there's no way I was getting that off.
Wow.
There was no crab attached to it, and it was just gunny on a couple of legs, and it just grabbed onto my hand. And they told me, bite it off to get it off there. And it left a bad scar for quite a while. It hurt. So we're going to try to get this girl out to let people see. And you see, she's quite defensive, nice big girl defensive. She does not want to come out. And who can blame her? Because her eyes, you see her eyes on the stalk?
Yeah.
She knows what's going on all around. She's like, you got me out last night. You're not doing it again. I'm ready for you. So, Manikou crab. I don't know if we're going to get her out
That's
safely.
the thing. I'm curious to know why it's referred to as a Manikou crab.
Right. A Manikou is a possum, and a possum is a marsupial. And a marsupial, all marsupials have pouches. Right. So the other crab that has the eggs and just let them free swim, she, after copulation with the male and the eggs are fertilized, she keeps the eggs and they develop in her pouch. So when you catch her at the right time, she has a pouch in her abdomen. When you open that flap there, it's actually a pouch. And she would have hundreds of babies in there developing. And at some point in time now, she will go by a riverbank and they would come out and go on their way. But they get a head start. They don't start off really tiny. They start off as little yellow specimens. They look like spiders. So you have any idea how many people would have gone hiking through the bush and taken across a little stream, you know, or stepped on them or seen them just running and thought they were little spiders? They weren't spiders. They're her babies.
Possibly I
They're
might
her
have done that
babies.
as well.
Yeah. A lot of people they see that little yellow thing scurrying along and in the water. Here she comes out. Yeah, she's coming for me. That's quite good. They are her babies because she gives them a good head start. She keeps them for a while and they get a good start.
I can't believe a crab has a pouch.
Crab has a pouch. Hence the name Manikou crab. So as she comes out of the thing, I think we'll turn this side to you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, so Manikou crab, not because it's found in the bush, but it actually has a pouch. So it all ties back and it makes sense. So people think that animals are named just so. No, there's a reason. There's a method and a reason. So going back to the natives, their first naturalists would have seen this pouch and called it Manikou. Manikou crab, mountain crab.
She's very good at this, isn't she?
Yes. See why we have a cover on it there? Imagine me coming into Port of Spain with this at 5 something in the morning and she comes out, you know, it wouldn't be nice.
Hey, I think she is coming for you.
Right? So quite skilled in their movement. And there we go. This is the free part. You know, I'm sure many people have seen the video with the crab holding on to a knife.
Yes.
Yeah. But she's gotten why. She realized this is no threat to her. So she's not holding on to that, but she's keeping her eyes on me. She's keeping her eyes very much on me. So we don't like to really aggravate them too much there, but you get a chance to see. So they are usually smaller, and you get that reddish color. They are beautiful, beautiful creature. You get that reddish color, but this is a mature girl. She is big, she is strong. And some people consider them to be quite delicious.
Oh, yes.
All right. But, you know, it's flavor and culture. You're not going to get any set of meat out of this at all. It's just not going to happen.
Doesn't look that way.
Right. There we go. So without harassing her, yeah, and they are quick when it comes to the scurrying around, right? I hope she doesn't help me to meet religion this morning. If I have to, I will grab her, but I'm just trying to kind of keep her contained, right? And she will stay pretty steady right there for now. So this is our, hello, I just said steady. This is our Manikou crab, trying to avoid too much contact. And this is what they will do. You see them run up, run up the side of the hills and the mountains on the road and so on there. So I encourage you, if you're driving through the forested areas and you see them on the road, don't run them over, please. That's just cruel. There's no reason. You know, she could be a mother with literally 100 and something babies in a pouch. And when you run her over, you're not killing one. You're killing hundreds of these creatures that are already threatened. Every time a road is built, they're losing habitat and space and everything like that. There's no reason to hurt and kill these creatures. Appreciate them for what they are. An amazing adaptive crab that have gone from the waters to the mountains, that can breathe air with their now adapted sort of lungs and protect their babies and make sure that they make it well by keeping them in her pouch.
So why are crabs important to the environment, apart from a food source for others? Why are crabs important?
Well, the babies, their main food source is mosquito larvae and other microorganisms.
Really?
Yeah, at that size, at that tiny size there, like a spider. You think it's a spider, like I said, it's a cousin, okay? But it's actually this crab babies, and the babies would eat mosquito larvae and dragonfly larvae and all sort of smaller stuff, and then they move up the chain. This size snake can easily eat, crab can easily eat a small snake. Quite easily eat a small snake, yes. Small snake, zanji, yes.
It's not the other way where the snake will...
It's not the other way. Well, some of the bigger snakes can do it, right? But they serve as a very important food source. Remember T'Challa, the common black hawk?
Yes.
His favorite food, right here. His favorite food. And of course, we also have the crab hawk. But T'Challa is a crab hawk, but called a common black hawk. They will love this guy. He goes crazy when he sees one of these, or any type of crab. It's like he's calm all the time, meat, I'm good. When he sees this, he just gets super hyper because something in him engages and he knows this is what I should be eating. So he does that, all right? So she has, all the features, look, just like a regular crab, but again, that abdomen, she's got that special feature right there, which is her pouch. Okay?
I think this is incredible. I've never heard of a crab with a pouch.
Crab with a pouch. And we have, like I said, we have 3 species of manikou, and we're going to try to meet them all on Wild Wednesday. We have, our most rehabilitated animal for this year has been the black-eared opossum, or the common manikou. Then you have the goose manikou, and then you have the mouse manikou. The goose is one of my favorites because I get to sing my little song when, who go marry you, who go marry you, who go marry you, you look like a goose manikou. Hey.
I know the song.
Like for much
it's like, it's the first thing that came to my mind when you said goose manikou.
Yeah, okay, but strange thing is, goose manikou actually quite attractive. It's actually my favorite.
Really?
Beautiful creature. Beautiful creature. The colors, the fur, it's just, all the creatures that we have here, all creatures fascinate me because they all do something, they all bring something literally to the table or the desk, but some of the stuff that we have here, it's just even more amazing for me because it's ours. It's ours. I can go into the forest and see this here and probably talk for hours about this creature and be like, what is this crazy person going on and on about a crab? It's just a crab. No, it's not just a crab.
She looks like she wants you to meet more religion this morning.
Right, yeah, I am. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I'm doing my best not to overly, excuse me. I see what you're doing there. Excite her, or to get her to exert herself. But this is one of the crabs that you're going to meet. And we're trying, if things go, she knows I'm going in that area. She likes that area. She realizes the desk is quite bland. So I'm going to actually try to give her a hand up a bit and let her go in there on her own. Let's go. Let's try this. No, there's no biting of me. All right, we will hold you if we have to. Come on. Yeah. All right, we'll leave her out for a little while. We want to present 8 species of crabs to the safari. Most people don't even know we have that many. There are more. But we're going to present 8. We have the fiddler crab, we have the spider crab, we have the hairy crab, we have the... Yeah. He's afraid of spiders, so he ain't going to like you.
No, I'm fine with you, actually. I'm actually fine with you. I'm not too keen on getting pinched, but I'm absolutely fine with you.
Right. So, 8 species of crabs. Even the hermit crab, which is actually not scientifically a crab, but it's called a crab, and we'll go with that for now.
So what is it if it's not scientifically a crab?
Well, it's kind of complicated. It's probably closer related actually to a squid than a crab.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't go off the desk. You're not allowed off the desk. Only on the desk.
Right. Yeah. Stay close. Stay alert. Right. So so we have the fiddler crab, we have the hermit crab, we have the spider crab, we have the manikou crab, we have the mangrove crab, we have the blue crab, we have the serret crab. That's just 7 crabs here already. We have crabs in Trinidad.
Yeah. And I must admit, they taste quite good.
I've stopped eating them. Put it this way. Growing up in Tobago, where the normal food on any day could be a crab, I'm not that enthused about eating crabs anymore. You know?
Yeah, you've had your food.
Especially because of the work involved.
Yeah,
you know, I've had so many friends I take to Tobago and they're like, dumpling and crab, you know, and I sit there just watching them struggling away. Right, and it's literally sweating into their bowl of food.
I go to Tobago for oxtail, you know.
Right, yeah. You know, more work than anything else for me, you know, like, you know, but it's a delicacy. And, you know, I would encourage anybody to try it at least once. But what I'm encouraging people to do in Trinidad, we have a problem in Trinidad now, it's overdoing it. Okay, you can do something, yeah, but the overdoing is creating a problem, over-harvesting.
Yeah.
I've seen already, I was down Galeota Point for a rescue, and down the rescue came in, and as I said, crab were running. And you see everybody in Trinidad, because people kept hailing me out, it's like the whole of Trinidad down here, with a bucket and a car trunk open, and a bag, grabbing crabs. And some of them, you know, I looked and said, hey, that's a female, you know. Oh, she has eggs. Just let her go. You shouldn't be doing that.
You usually tell the difference between the male and female by the size of the...
Yep, and the regular blue crab, land crabs, yes, the Gundy.
But how do you tell the difference?
Well, with these, if I was holding it and showing
pouch.
it there, yes, the pouch below definitely is the dead
Right,
giveaway.
okay.
The dead giveaway. Because the females get quite large too because of their pouch. But the pouch is the dead giveaway for the female. Because you have a large male, you'll have a large female. But when you see that pouch, you definitely know for sure that that's a female right there. All right, so this one is quite nice. Like I said, I don't want to meet Religion this morning, and she's calming down, and I'm not riling her up. It's not my style to get...
If you come across one of these in the roadway, is there a proper way to handle it?
In the room?
In the roadway.
In the roadway? Just leave it alone, or take a stick or a branch.
If you can't avoid, just...
Yeah, take a stick or a branch. They don't want to be around you. They know, you know, you're going to run back in the back there and come out with a pack of Chief Curry or something. So they want nothing to do with you. You know, chase it out of the road and then continue your journey. If you go at it, you approach it, they will scurry away just like the ghost crabs that are on the rocks in Trinidad.
Yeah.
You know, they scurry. They don't want anything to do with you. It's like, leave me alone, leave me in my space. That's good. We have to actually seek them. And sometimes when you're crossing a little river or stream and you encounter them, what they would do is just sort of hunker down, and they go between the leaves and the brush and so on there, and you can't even recognize them many times. They camouflage themselves. They want no human contact. That's just how amazing they are right there.
No human contact, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you coming towards me?
They could be like Calypso Rose. Just leave me alone. That's all they want. To be left, and most of my life is that's the way it is. They just want to be left alone, to go about their life, their business, raise their families and whatever, lay, procreate, eat some guava, banana, and just, you know. So their diet is quite varied. They go from fruit to meat. They will eat anything. They're a clean-up crew.
Well,
they're food for animals. They help reduce mosquitoes. They're just amazing all around.
I must admit, I'm quite fascinated this morning. And yes.
Right, yeah.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for coming on. Ricardo, thanks for bringing this wonderful specimen one, especially with in regards to the pouch. I never ever knew about that. I've learned quite a bit this morning. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us here. And again, we're not stressing her out at all. As you can see, they're not handling her and getting her to go crazy and possibly even damage her legs, because this is one of the crabs that we get to meet for this wild Christmas safari.
Ah, yes, next week, Sunday, the 10th, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Presar Secondary School. Contribution is only $20. So come out, support the centre, and support all that they hope to achieve in 2024. Certainly. So, Ricardo, you keep well, thanks a lot. And, my dear friend, pleasure meeting you.
You want to keep until next week, Sunday?
Sure, not a problem.
All right, go ahead.
Although they're without the... Goodbye, my friend.
Just send her into the tank?
Sure.
Yeah, just
there you go.
And she will go in.
You go ahead, you jump.
She should go in. She should go in.
Look at this. Trying to get a crab in a tank.
There you go. Right, if we have crabs in barrels,
crab in a
tank.
So we put you there back for now. Ricardo, again, thanks a lot. And until next week.
Yep, thank you very much for having us. And we'll get even wilder next week.
I look forward to
I promise you Manikou, so we know who's coming. Manikou.
Oh, okay, great.
Black-eared opossum.
Excellent, looking forward to that. Never really handled a Manikou before, so let's see how that goes.
Okay.
thinking maybe not a shirt and a jacket next week.
Maybe not, yes.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, we got some breaking news to share with you this morning. The mother of David Rudder has passed away. So I don't have much details to share with you at this point. However, the news just coming in is that David Rudder's mother has passed away. So our condolences to the Rudder family, and may she rest in peace. It's been a really sad day over the last couple of days with the stories, with the news of individuals who are no longer with us, but such is life. And nevertheless, again, our condolences to the Rudder family, and may she rest in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me this morning for AM Prime, and thank you to Ricardo Mead and our new friend there, the Manikou Crab, also known as the Mountain Crab, for joining us for Wild Wednesday. And Keaton Shaw, and this has been the premier platform for Caribbean content, WESN, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. But until then, you keep well. Bye-bye.
WESN.
I am Sule A. Joseph, and we are WESN, Content Capital. Have a content capital Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Now I know we have no snow, but Christmas is still here. Ho ho, the Christmas shows each week for all to see. Movie classics wait for you and our local content for free. Have a content capital Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a content capital Christmas this year.
The issue, the continued rise in the price of flour and its impact on the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. How should we go about